Hello, hello. So happy to have you back. I hope you had a wonderful, wonderful time practicing lots of gratitude because that is not going away anytime soon. The next strategy I want to talk to you about ties directly into gratitude, and it is prayer and meditation. Oh, yes. We are definitely going to focus on that this week. And so I really want to talk to you a little bit about those things. They are different, in my opinion, and yet they're still the same. They have some similarities, but some differences. And I want you to do whatever you feel comfortable doing. I personally pray, and so that's what I'm most familiar with. I also do meditate, but I've been praying for a lot longer. I grew up in a family that practiced prayer regularly, and so that is what I am most proficient at. And so I just want to talk to you a little bit about prayer. And I do this immediately after I wake up. When I wake up, I say, thank you, God, for another day, for letting me wake up. And then I do my prayer process. And what does that consist of? I say, thank you. I reflect, and I do this in the morning and in the evening. So this is part of my morning and nighttime routine. And so I say what I'm thankful for, and then I reflect. I reflect on in the morning on the day before again, and think about what my intention is going to be, which is a little bit later, but I evaluate and think, okay, what did I do right? What did I do wrong? How can I adjust? And I forgive myself for the things that I didn't do perfectly. There's always things, unless you're perfect, I always find things that I could have done better. And so I forgive myself for those things and then set the intention of number one, doing better. But also I set an intention to pray for someone else. And that's just my practice, but I find it works really, really well. That not only am I asking God for the strength to do better today, but also I'm praying that I'm praying for someone else, whether it's my children getting to where they're going or good grades, or if I know somebody is struggling with something, just anything, all the natural disasters. I pray for the people there. My niece just got married not that long ago. I was praying for a beautiful day for her wedding and that everyone made it there safely, things like that. And then I say my prayer. And I do that in the morning and in the evening. Now, you can also do meditation. And so I wanted to talk to you about the different types of meditation. Before I leave that, prayer, I find it easier to do because I can do it anywhere. So let's say I forget to pray in the morning, which I don't imagine a time, I can't think of a time, but let's just say I got startled and my dog was vomiting or something, and I jumped out of bed and was taking care of that and then didn't do my morning prayer routine. I can do that at a light. You don't have to pray on your knees all the time in front of a cross or something like that, traditional. You can pray even in the car. I pray at stoplights sometimes. I think about someone who needs some prayers or that I've promised to pray for. And so I set that intention that this prayer is for so and so. And then I say the prayer and thank God for listening to me. And I do believe in that connection for me, that God really does listen to me. And I think he does truly because I'm always talking to him. I'm a friend he's familiar with. And I know that we have that kind of relationship because I connect with him all the time. And so that's just me. And so if you are a prayer, that can apply to you. But now we'll move on to meditation. And the reason why I thought of that is you can't meditate, in my opinion, everywhere, right? Sometimes that becomes a little bit awkward. I did talk about one of my other videos on my Facebook page was box breathing. I did find that to be really helpful during depositions where it's in for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, hold for 4, your breath. And meditation to me is a lot more about breathing, really focusing on the breathing. And there's a lot of different forms of it. I personally like a sleep meditation where I listen right before I go to bed or as I'm falling asleep to more of a hypnotic sleep meditation. There's also some people listen during the day to binaural beats and find those helpful. I did not personally, but you can try them. Try them and see what you think. They might work for you. each of us is different. I want you to find what definitely works for you. Music. Sometimes just the relaxing music is all someone needs to kind of put themselves in the right mindset. There's also a walking meditation. I've heard of another one that's like a self-talk, like more of an affirmation meditation. So that's another one you can look into. Yoga. And then there's also the tapping. And no, it's not a meditation per se, but it could be used in this category of gratitude and reflection and really putting your mind at rest, because it does have very, very, very many benefits. Honestly, it helps increase your focus and your mind and body connection. Sometimes just stopping and listening to your body and just really feeling it, right? Just feeling the blood go all the way into your toes. Just taking that moment makes you aware of your body and the connection between the mind and the body. It reduces stress. That's a given. There's science behind this. There's a lot of truth to this. It lowers anxiety. And the busier you are, the more important it is to do these things. And so if you're an entrepreneur or an executive, I know you can find 10 minutes to either pray or meditate or do tapping techniques, whatever it is that you find that can do these things. And the last one is, there's a lot of science behind, is that it reduces the negative self-talk in your brain, right? And you've also accomplished something if you do it first thing in the morning, which is what I find helpful. And then throughout the day, of course, I try to keep practicing it. But I do find the first thing in the morning really has the most benefit, at least for me. I think there's some science behind it. I don't know a study, but I'm sure I could pull one up. If you need one, let me know. I will also be attaching a PDF for these. Most of these should have a PDF attached that you can reference. And so your activities for this week is just try, if you do not already pray or meditate regularly, I want you to try a 1-minute meditation. I know you can find 1 minute to just sit still and focus on your breathing, and then work up from there. A 5-minute, you can Google, there are a gazillion examples out there. Find what works for you. Is the first one going to work? I don't know. I hope it does. But if it doesn't, don't give up. Go to the next one. Try another one. Keep going until you find the one that works for you and that you get the most benefit out of, and that you can really relax. It might be a female voice. It might be a male voice. It's probably not my voice, but I don't do meditations on my own voice. I know some people do recordings for themselves, and maybe I'll get there. I'm just not there right now. I haven't done one, but it is out there. I find some wonderful meditations online, and I do different ones all the time. For my sleep meditation, I find those to be really relaxing. And sometimes if I find myself having 5 minutes, if I'm home, not behind a car, do not try to do meditations at a stoplight. Do those when you're home, comfortable in your bed, and or in a chair. A lot of times people cannot do them in a bed unless they're sleep meditation, because they actually do put you to sleep. And so be careful with those. The tapping, that's a really cool activity. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, and I can do a whole video on that as well, but it would just take more than the couple minutes that I have here. And so your activities are to do prayer or meditation at least once a day in the morning. And I want you to go back to that journal. See how you feel after you did those things. So it starts with the gratitude. It's part of the prayer practice or meditation practice. Be thankful that you get this opportunity to meditate, right? You can just start there. Just start with that opportunity. Go ahead and do the meditation. And I want you to do that every single day for 5 days. And every day, I want you to see how you feel. Write down, really evaluate how you feel, how you've changed. Because in my prayer practice, one of them is evaluate. So kind of evaluate how my day went. And I encourage you to do that with the meditation as well, but just evaluate if it made a difference in terms of your day, maybe lowering your negative self-talk, maybe encouraging you, maybe you stayed calmer, more relaxed, less stressed and anxiety. think about how it made you feel. All right, I'm going to stick to my 15 minutes. This is really hard, but that's why I talk so fast. I could cover this for a lot longer, but I hope you found this helpful. And I hope you apply the meditation and prayer practice at least for a week. It takes a lot longer than that, but just try it for a week and see how you feel. There was a lot of research behind this. So thank you for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Liz Royce with 52 CEOs.